So, welcome you guys to day 3 of my 30-day series, where basically every single day for 30 days, I share a tool with you to stop binge eating or something that has really helped me becoming binge free, as I am 4 years binge free. So, I want to talk to you guys today about cravings versus urges. And if you're live with me, I really want this to be super interactive. So drop in the chat cravings versus urges. There is a big difference. Drop in the chat cravings versus urges. There's a massive, massive, massive difference between the two. So cravings, first of all, so many people, hey Lindsay, fear cravings. So many people are scared of their cravings. And I remember feeling this way too, because diet culture tells you, hey, Laura, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen you on my live. Hey, Mary, hey, Lindsay. So diet culture tells you, don't honor your cravings, don't have that piece of chocolate, just drink some water, distract yourself, stay busy. Like diet culture basically makes you believe that the worst thing in the world is cravings. How many of you guys have been told that cravings are bad? So many people are scared of their cravings. But cravings are not bad, and they're actually nothing to fear. So I want to explain what a craving is. A craving is when you are wanting something specific. So let's say, for example, you're like, oh, I'm really craving a chocolate chip cookie. I'm really craving pancakes. I'm really craving some pizza, right? It is so specific. That is how you know you're experiencing a craving, because it is specific, right? It's like a particular food item that you're wanting. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to binge urges, you are not wanting the food. You are wanting what you believe the food is going to give you, aka the euphoria feeling, the dopamine hit, the comfort, the relief, the pleasure. This is why when you are binging, you're like, I don't even taste the food, because it's not about the food. When I used to binge, I would be standing up, eating so fast, like I was going through an out-of-body experience. This one time when my binges were the worst that it's ever been, hey Marlana, I was literally standing in front of my kitchen. I grabbed chocolate chip banana bread from the freezer, you guys. And I started going to town on chocolate chip banana bread from the freezer. Literally, it was frozen. It tasted like nothing, like I didn't even taste it. But I was experiencing that urge. So when you experience an urge and you start going through these out-of-body experiences, you're just eating so fast that you don't even really taste the food. Is this making sense? Drop a yes in the chat if this is making sense. So I was standing there, like eating this frozen chocolate chip banana bread, like just piece after piece after piece. And literally hey, Caroline, Jaden, oh my God, you're amazing. I relate to you so much. Hey, Anne. So it was like piece after piece after piece. And my mind was telling me, like, no, my body was telling me, Lorna, you are so full. You are literally so full. And I was like, I know. My body was like, you're full. And my mind was like, keep going, keep going, keep going. It felt like I could not stop because it didn't feel like me. So cravings are not bad. Every single person experiences cravings. Cravings, you are wanting something specific. Chocolate chip banana bread, pizza, an Oreo. Now, also with cravings, it doesn't have to just be like quote unquote junk food. It can also be like a craving for a nice big salad. You know, with the warmer weather outside, I'm like, oh, I really want like a fresh smoothie, or I'm really craving some yogurt with some fruit, like a refreshing thing, Cravings don't also just have to be like, I'm craving chocolate or I'm craving, pasta and pizza. Sometimes cravings can be like, I want a juicy apple, right? Or I really want a fresh salad. That's a craving or wanting something specific. And then when it comes to binge urges, you're not wanting the food because you can't even taste the food when you're binging. You're eating so fast. What you're actually wanting is the feeling that you get when you binge. What is the feeling that you get when you binge? Drop it in the chat. What is the feeling that you get while you're binging? For me, it was like this high, like this euphoria feeling. I felt like I almost like entered a black hole and just didn't have to like think about anything. I like escaped from my world for a second and entered like this different reality where I actually didn't feel anything. It was literally like it was just like, how do I explain it? It was literally just this out of body experience. And it was like, I just didn't have to feel. I didn't have to feel any emotions. Happy, stopping my emotions. Yes. Satisfaction. Yes, yes, yes. Heart starts beating so fast. Yes, it's this rush of anxiety. It's this surge of energy. This, heart rate goes up really fast. Maybe your palms get sweaty and it's like, you're full. And your mind is like, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Happiness, but anxiety as well. I don't even feel better. I just feel not with it at the time. Yes. Numbs the bad feelings. Yes, 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 yes. So this is cravings versus urges. Now, why is it so important for you to honor your cravings? Well, first of all, like I said, they're not bad. But second of all, what happens so everyone drop down below, what do you tend to crave? What foods do you tend to crave? For me, I crave chocolate all the time. I used to crave sweets all the time. Sweets was just my thing. But let me know in the chat box, what do you tend to crave? Pizza, chocolate. Yes, Rosie, we're twins. I got a sweet tooth. Crave sweets like chocolate. Yes. Fries, ice cream, sweets. Yes, yes, yes. Now, bread, pancakes, muffins. Yes. So now, what happens when you don't honor that craving? What happens, Emmy, when you don't have burgers? What happens, Caroline, when you don't have sweets and chocolate and crisps? Jaden, what happens when you don't have cheese or sweets? So Laura, hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Some of you guys don't have your actual name in your thing. What happens when you don't have bread, pancakes, or muffins? And what happens when you don't have ice cream? The cravings get louder. Binge on them eventually. Yes, Caroline, you're a freaking badass. I remember us talking. Works for a while, then I binge on it after, can't stop thinking about it. Yes, 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 yes. So you have this craving for the burgers, for the fries, whatever it is. Then the voices inside of your mind become louder. Your taste bud, you'll start salivating. You literally start thinking about the fries and the burgers and the sweets and the pancakes and the muffins so much more. Exactly, Jaden. The more I ignore the binge, the worse it is. Yeah, I think you mean cravings. My cravings would get so bad, the food noise would be defeating, and then you probably end up just giving in. Right, Marlana? And that's normal. So, cravings do not go bye-bye. Cravings do not go away. What ends up happening is your craving intensifies. It becomes so loud that it turns into an urge. Drop this below. Cravings turn to urges. Write this down because this is so important. I want this to be interactive. Cravings turn to urges. Drop that below. When you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have the chocolate. I probably shouldn't have the pizza. I probably shouldn't have the peanut butter. Yes, Sarah Lynn, I probably shouldn't have the ice cream. Your craving intensifies and it turns into an urge. Now, when you have an urge to binge, you don't have a choice. It's not like, I wonder, should I give in? Should I not give in? You don't have a choice. When you have an urge to binge, it feels like somebody is taking over your body and doing things with food that do not feel like you. It's like somebody is tapping on your shoulder and it's like, hello, hello. It's like annoying little bugger. Hello, hi, remember, I'm here. Yeah, you dismissed me 5 minutes ago. You dismissed me 5 hours ago. So now I'm going to keep tapping you on the shoulder and being a little bugger. And I'm going to be so freaking annoying. And I'll be tapping you, tap, 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 tap. Hello, ice cream, burgers, fries, pizza, chocolate. Boop, 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 boop. And all you can think about is that food. And when the urge is so strong, you feel powerless over your urges. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to give in. I can't focus on work. I'm like in a conversation with my partner and I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do when I get home by myself and binge. You feel me? Drop a yes if this is making sense. So, when the craving turns into an urge, feels like you don't have a choice but to give in. And this is why you need to honor your cravings. Too many people are terrified. Too many people are terrified of giving in to cravings. But you end up binging on what you wanted in the first place 10 times more. So what ends up happening is, let's say you're craving ice cream. You might have a substitute, right? You're having a substitute. Okay, we're not about Ozempic over here. We're about sustainably ending binge eating for good, you know? You know what I mean? So what was I saying was, it's scary to honor your cravings, right? I get it. It feels scary. But what ends up happening is, let's say you're craving ice cream and you try to have a healthier substitution and you're like, I probably shouldn't have the ice cream. I'm going to have some grapes. So then you have the grapes and you're like, okay, that was good, but I still want the ice cream. I probably shouldn't. Okay, I'm just going to have like a protein bar. Just got to be healthy. So I'm going to have a protein bar. Next thing you know, you're still not satisfied. So you have the grapes, then you have the protein bar, and then you have a sandwich, and then you have something else, and then you end up having the ice cream anyways. And because you feel like, oh my gosh, I just ate all of that plus the ice cream. Well, I'm not going to just have like a tiny little bowl of ice cream. I'm literally just going to binge because I already messed up. I already ate so much, and I probably should have had the ice cream in the first place, but I didn't. So like, well, today's a binge. So like tomorrow I'm going to do better. Have you been here before? Drop a me in the chat if you can relate. So when you are scared to honor your cravings, you have to remind yourself that if you just had, yes, Denisa, absolutely, me, Anne, Sarah Lynn, Emmy, exactly. So you have to remind yourself that if you just had some ice cream, you could literally prevent a binge. You could literally be preventing binging on thousands of calories. I get it. I know it's scary. But what's even scarier is continuing these binge eating cycles. And the exciting news, you guys, and I'll get to that, Susan, in a minute. The exciting news, so even Susan said, like, I can't control the ice cream. That's because you still have urges to binge. So when you get rid of your urges, you won't feel out of control. And a way of getting rid of your urges is by practicing honoring the cravings. But so many people are too scared to honor the cravings that they don't honor the cravings, and then they keep on having these urges. Yeah, Susan, I used to be the same thing. I used to binge on like healthy food. I used to binge on chicken and broccoli, and I used to binge on a bunch of other things as well too. You don't have to just binge on like quote unquote like junk food. So when you give into your cravings, you prevent an urge from happening and you prevent binging. And a lot of people are too scared to honor their cravings. And this is where the binges keep happening over and over and over again. So you want to honor your cravings, but you don't want to honor your urges. Because every time you feel the urge to binge and you give in, you are further ingraining this habit into your brain. I made a post today about rewiring your brain on my Instagram, and I'm going to pull it up here. Somebody said, because I said, like, you don't want to be giving into your urges. And they said, if I prevent myself from binging so that it doesn't become a habit, this means that I'm just depriving myself and restricting myself, and I'm just going to keep thinking about the food. And I said, no, because there's a difference between cravings and urges. Honoring your cravings, you want to honor your cravings so you don't feel deprived, but not give into your urges so you can stop binge eating. So do you guys see the difference? You're not going to feel deprived when you're not binging because you're going to be honoring your cravings and you're going to feel satisfied. And now I think also sometimes people think, like, when I say honor your cravings, I don't mean like have burgers and pizza and fries every single day. Like, I'm not about that either, because you're going to feel like shit. Drop like a poo emoji. Like, you're going to feel like shit if you just eat cookies and cake and whatever. But the truth is, if you're really listening to your body, you don't want those foods all the time. Now, right now, yes, Caroline. Oh my God, I love it. Poo emojis. Oh, that's amazing. Right now, you might think like, all I want is sweets and cookies, and that's because you're not allowing yourself to have them. But when you allow yourself to have them, ironically, you want them less. You guys, back in 2018, okay, back in 2018, when I was restricting myself, I had these intense cravings, intense urges. All I wanted was sweets. That's all I like thought about. I was like, oh my God, I just want chocolate all the time. And then when I started allowing myself to have more sweets, I literally had them. I literally craved them less. And now I don't have any urges to binge. But even again, cravings aren't bad. But even to this day, I don't get these intense cravings because I allow myself to have some chocolate here and there. And I don't feel the need to eat it every single day because I allow myself to have it. When you don't allow yourself to have it, that's when you want it more. Yes, it's about not putting any food on a pedestal, like you said. Absolutely. Hey, Bree. Bree liked the cheese. Hell yeah, I like that, babe. Can you touch on feeling of needing to order multiple different things, the fear you need it all? Can you touch on feelings of needing to order multiple different things and fear you need it all? So somebody just asked me if I recovered from binge eating. I'm 4 years binge free. And now what I do for a living is I help you guys become binge free. So this feeling of needing to order multiple things in fear of like, you need it all, it's honestly the scarcity mindset. So if you have been depriving yourself for years and years and years and years, you don't know the next time you're going to really enjoy food. You don't know the next time you're going to eat. So what ends up happening a lot of the times is like, I'm going to order 9 million things, or I'm going to have, oh, thank you, Tess. You're so sweet. So what ends up happening is you literally have all of this food because in your mind, it's like, I don't know the next time I'm going to have something. Or if you have the all or nothing mentality, you're like, well, if I'm eating out, I'm not going to just have a fry. I'm going to have a fry, burger, milkshake, this, that, and the other, right? It really is the all or nothing mentality, right? Because tomorrow I'm just going to do better. So you have, again, this is why you guys, you got to drop your food rules. Release your food rules. Stop the restriction, because you don't have the all or nothing mentality when you don't diet. When you diet and you feel like the diet has to restart tomorrow, I better eat it all now because the diet starts tomorrow. I was the queen of the all or nothing mentality. How many of you guys have the all or nothing mentality? Drop a me below. I was the queen. Like, I can eat super healthy, and then God forbid somebody asks me to, like, my husband would be like, do you want to go out for dinner? And I'm like, oh God, here, the freaking day is ruined. Might as well also order dessert and then just come home and binge. That's the all or nothing mentality. That's the all or nothing mentality. Megan, I've worked with people who have ADHD and binge eating. You can conquer as well too. Because binge eating is about rewiring your brain and getting rid of your urges. So when you have less urges and you're less impulsive, you will be able to stop your binge eating. So the all or nothing mentality, right? It's like, and with most things, not just with food, and that's typical, right? Whether it's like exercise or like studying or like work or like a new project, it's like gotta get her done, or I completely feel you. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's the all or nothing mentality when you feel like, I need to eat everything and then I do better tomorrow. Okay, I will leave some time for some questions. Is there any other questions down below? What's the difference between binge eating and overindulging? So I think maybe you just popped on. But I talked about this at the very beginning. So basically, overindulging, everybody overindulges from time to time, right? Birthday parties, celebrations, get-togethers, if you're on vacation, and it's not like an excuse to indulge, but it's just, let's be honest, like if you're on vacation, you're probably going to have different foods. If you're at a birthday party, right, there's going to be multiple sweets, there's going to be multiple foods, like there's going to be a variety of different things. But overindulging, it's like with a healthy relationship with food, when people indulge, it's just like, okay, like they just get, I don't want to say get back on track, but it's just like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like it's part of the process. And, I'm just going to eat my regular meals tomorrow. Binge eating is when you have the urge. Not everyone have urges. So binge eating is the out of body experience, this surge of energy, this rush of anxiety. I need to eat right now. It's typically done in secret when you're home alone. Overindulging, you might be with a friend. You might be, with a friend, you guys order pizza and maybe you're like, okay, probably had too many slices, but like you're not doing it in secret. Or like, again, you're at a birthday party, you're at a get together, a celebration, a wedding, when there's like 7-course meal, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's normal sometimes, right? But you don't have this feeling of like shame and guilt and embarrassment. You're not like, hurry up before somebody walks in. That's binge eating. Candy says, how do you start retraining your brain? Good question, Candy. I actually just made an Instagram post. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, I literally just made a post about how to rewire your brain. So go check that out, Candy. But basically, you need to start not giving into your binge urges to reprogram your brain. You got to start changing your thoughts. So instead of saying things like, oh, I can never trust myself around trigger foods, you can start saying things like, I am in the process of making peace with trigger foods. You have to be willing to do things differently. So if in the past you've always kept trigger foods out of the house, maybe you introduce one food into your diet. That's doing something different. That's reprogramming your brain. You're doing something different. You're going to get a different result. Okay, so you got to change your thoughts. You got to change your behaviors with food. You got to practice not giving into your urges. But I literally have a whole post on my Instagram on how to rewire your brain, Candy. So go check that out. Hi, Kaylee. Can I eat at night or is that binge eating? I have yogurt, berries, and chocolate. Okay, let's break this belief that eating late at night is bad. Bullshit. Bullshit. And I'm not saying you, Callie. I'm saying diet culture. I used to believe this as well too. I'm like, if I eat after 7 o'clock, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like gain so much weight. And I used to do like intermittent fasting because I was so scared to eat after dinner. And what I would typically do is have like a dinner for like 7 people because I had this scarcity of like, I can't eat after dinner. So I had to eat a lot at dinner, but you can eat after dinner. Promise you, you can eat at night. Trust your body. I experienced binge eating myself. Somebody asked about my background. So I was a binge eater. I don't even no, cancel that. I struggled with binge eating for 10 years of my life. bad relationship with food. I was a competitive dancer growing up. So there was body image, there was binge eating. I struggled with urges, nighttime eating, body dysmorphia. I struggled with it all. And now I'm 4 years binge free. And now I help other women do the same. So, how do you deal with exam binge eating? Oh man, I remember like I used to be, man, exam time was the worst. That's exactly when I would binge. And really, this is just stress and emotions. And this is why it is so important to have nervous system regulation techniques so that you can calm your mind and calm your body. I also am a certified breathwork facilitator, and I do breathwork with my clients. If you've not yet done breathwork, get on it. Certain breathing techniques can really help you get out of your mind into your body to calm down your nervous system and help you become less impulsive with food. It can help you better cope with your emotions without turning to food. So I would start doing some like breathing techniques, because anytime you're stressed, it's like you might have linked, when I'm stressed, I binge. So then every time you binge, you blame your stress. And then when you're stressed, you're like, well, I can't handle this. I just binge. And instead, you really have to ask yourself, like, okay, I'm stressed right now. What do I actually need? Because you might need to get outside and get some fresh air. And I'm not saying this as a distraction. I'm not saying instead of binge eating, go take a walk. That's not going to work. But what I'm saying is, what do you actually need? Maybe you got to like just take a moment and allow yourself to not feel guilty for not studying. Maybe you need to actually allow yourself to just like lay on the couch and like take a nap without guilt. But so often there's guilt and there's shame and there's, oh, well, you should be studying, you shouldn't be taking, you shouldn't be relaxing, or you shouldn't be taking a nap. You need to be studying. And then that creates even more stress. And then that leads to binge eating. Where's your shirt from? I don't know. It's cute, eh? Okay. I think that is what I'm going to answer for today. Somebody asked, like, where do I start? Where do I first start? If you guys are looking for a place to get started, how many of you guys are ready to heal your relationship with food? Drop a heck yes in the chat, because you're not just like ready, you're like heck yes ready. Drop a heck yes if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and stop binge eating. Drop a heck yes. Heck freaking yes. Heck yes. Party emojis. Yes, Brienne, Candy. Who else? What other badasses? Watermelon and Hannah. Denisa. Okay, cool. So if you're wondering, like, where the heck and Bob do I actually begin to heal my relationship with food? I've created my Root and Rewire membership. This is where you learn all of the foundational tools to improve your relationship with food and stop binge eating. I help you get to the root of your binge eating, and I help you rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles. There are trainings on how to get out of the all or nothing mentality, how to stop self-sabotaging, how to stop thinking about food 24/7, what to do before, during, and after a binge, how to stop emotional eating. For those of you guys who are asking, like, oh, I'm stressed and I'm just like self-soothing with food, there's a training on that. There's trainings on how to master your habits. There's training on how to prioritize your health and fitness goals while healing your relationship with food. There's monthly Q&As with me. So just kind of like this, there's monthly Q&As with me where you can ask your personalized questions. And then there's a monthly masterclass training with me every single month to improve your relationship with food. This is the best place on planet Earth. There's also a community. The community is a game changer. And by the way, if you've not yet listened to the podcast, I just interviewed one of my clients who graduated. She completely conquered binge eating after 6 months inside of the membership. Episode 538 with my client, Nora. She did the membership and she conquered binge eating, and she's free, and she shares all different strategies that she learned inside of the membership that you guys can implement as well too. This membership starts at $97 per month, which is crazy because if you were to purchase everything separately, it would be well over $1,400, and you guys can literally start now for just starting at $97 per month. So there's almost 100 of you guys inside, which is crazy. I'm so grateful to be able to support you guys in healing your relationship with food and conquering binge eating. So for all of you guys who said, heck yes, I'm ready, the link is in my bio. If you want more details on the membership, this is the best place to begin. You learn all the foundational tools. You are so knowledgeable. You're welcome, Caroline. It's USD, Anne. All right, any other questions? You can ask me questions about the membership or anything that I talked about today. Does that include health food alternatives? I'm not sure what you mean, but this is not a meal plan. This is not a diet. So I don't tell you what to eat because that's not going to help you stop binge eating. That's actually just going to create more pressure and stronger urges. I teach you how to be so in tune with your body so you know exactly how much to eat without being on a diet plan. Because you guys are done with that. Like, you don't want another diet plan. You've done that for 10, 20 years of your life. You're like, I would love to just be so in tune with my body so I know exactly how much to eat. I can eat when I'm hungry. I can stop when I'm full. I can go out for dinner without these crazy urges to binge. I can be home alone and actually be productive versus feeling like this is my only opportunity to binge because no one's home and no one's going to know how much I'm eating. So I'm going to help you with all of that inside of the membership. It's the best place to start. If you're like, where the heck do I even begin healing my relationship with food? That's the best place. Hi, Megan from Mexico. Your videos help me a lot. That is fantastic. Amazing. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about the membership, you can just message me on my Instagram and I can share more details about that with you. But thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. Remember, you're a freaking badass and you can do hard things like conquer binge eating. Australia, yes, I have some Australia. I have some Australian clients. Somebody actually just joined the membership from Australia. So it'd be so cool if you guys connect. But thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.